What is it about Paramount? What is it that makes it tick?
You bring in what can be done, and we are here to support you, which is something very unique about Paramount management, to be honest with you.
There is a lot of support from the senior management. The people respect your ideas, which eventually you can make your idea grow into a powerful business.
I'm one of the examples. 2020, I go to Prem that we should do data privacy. Once the intent is right, you have identified the right person, just support that person in the best way possible. Today, we see that resulting into something great for us.
It's all about the family environment we have in Paramount.
We got new technologies into Middle East, which was not even kind of used in Middle East. Paramount has always been the North Star for cybersecurity.
Women are doing great job. We must have women in positions of decision making. That's where we will see difference happening. That is transformation in action. My job today demands I make those difficult calls. And I don't shrug from the fact that I have to make those difficult calls. Is pressure there in quarter end? Of course. Are numbers important? Absolutely. Work, business is important, but not the most important thing in life.
Having had the opportunity to serve our customers for the past 3 decades plus 3 years is one good reason to do a podcast, isn't it, Ashok?
Completely agree with you, Divya.
Let's get started with you. Why don't you tell us as how long you've been with Paramount, and is there any specific reason you decided to, pursue your journey with us?
I've been with Paramount for since we started our cyber journey, which is 1998. And I keep saying, I'm one of those guys who had the fortune of living in here, started in Dubai, went to Abu Dhabi, then went to Riyadh, came back to Dubai, went to Doha, came back, in between dabbled with Africa. But it's been one heck of a journey, something that I feel very good about. Yeah.
So altogether around 20 years plus?
Yeah, close to 25.
My goodness. Okay. Yeah. Let's repeat this question to Nitin. Nitin, why don't you tell us?
Absolutely. So I just completed my 9 years with Paramount last month, and the journey has been very rewarding. Right after completing my MBA from B School in India, I joined Paramount, joined as a sales manager. Again, wore different hats. In 2016, was part of identity team, then moved to consulting, then established the GRC function, then introduced data privacy across the verticals that we have. It's been really, really fulfilling journey. Today we are 80 plus employees in the team and supporting clients across the sectors, across the regions, serving more than 60 odd clients in the market as per our business that we have, which is GRC and data privacy.
Fantastic. So we've heard this perspective from UAE. Let's go to Kuwait. Yasser, why don't you tell us?
Yeah, so when I complete 11 years in this 1st of July, 11 years was Paramount, and more than 30 years in the area actually. So, and I can say that this journey was a great journey. Kuwait was 3 employees when I joined in 2015. Now we are 35 plus. Paramount as an overall we was below 150 employees, now we are 500 plus. So this is a great place to work actually.
Great, lovely. We hear from KSA. We have the man from KSA here. Namit?
Yes, so this is my second innings with Paramount. In the first one, I managed to hang on for about 5 years and then went out, and obviously Paramount has this calling for people, and that brought me back. And in this innings, it's almost 5 years for me as well. It's been a great learning experience, like Nitin also mentioned. Have gone through multiple roles like Ashok as well, through multiple countries as well. So that's given me a lot of insight into the cybersecurity market, how this Middle East region operates. It's been a very enjoyable journey, and I hope it continues.
Fantastic. We all like to repeat or try out the same thing when our heart is there. What did you really miss in Paramount while you chose to try out something very different in your first innings?
I think the culture of the company and the people that create that culture is very hard to find. And not just in the Middle East, but I think I would probably say this across the globe, right? As a company that focuses so much on customer satisfaction and employee satisfaction, I think those two have been fundamental to our DNA, and that differentiates us in many ways that we don't even know. And when I went out is when I realized what I was missing. So that brought me back.
So Divya, I'd like to add here, see, like what Namit says, right, like people have DNA, companies have a DNA, and when I joined about 2 years back, and I consistently do this every time, if you ask, Namit is a country head, but I have asked people who are office administrators, people who are, office support staff, and I've asked sales people who are from a different country, right? Not India, but another country. They all have the same answer. The answer is, here I feel that my idea is respected. Here there is openness, and I'm free to talk what I want. Right? I think these are all aspects that differentiate a company in front of the customer, right? Because we do not sell products, we sell our services, right? We sell our consulting, and there the spirit of openness and independence is different, and it's a winning edge compared to just a product company. If you're selling printer, you sell the same printer everywhere. Here you're selling a service. So your sense of independence and your sense of freedom translates to a newer idea that the customer can say, hey, this is refreshing, I haven't heard this from others. I think that's the DNA of Paramount, if you were to take whatever Namit said.
It's all about the family environment we have in Paramount, actually.
Hala, what has been your experience?
Yes, so I have been with Paramount for 3 years now. And to be honest, taking the decision to move from my old previous company to Paramount was very hard, because after spending 20 years with one company, to leave, it's like you are leaving your parents' home, honestly speaking. But when I look at it now, I feel that was the best decision I have taken. It has helped me change the entire way of thinking of leading a team, creating a plan, executing a plan, grow personally and professionally with the team. So it was a big change for me. So thank you for that, actually.
Nice. Let's hear this from Divya, who's from a very different industry, trying to get her mark to the sector.
And before I start, I actually want to quote that, what's written there, the best way to win big is to be part of building something new. So that brings me to my journey. After spending 16 years with oil and gas in a completely different domain, switching to cyber, all thanks to Namit for putting that idea in my head. But looking back, I think the last 2.5 years that I've spent with Paramount, they have been very gratifying, very challenging, but absolutely, they've added a lot to me as a leader, as a person. And I think, and I echo what each one of you said, the atmosphere here, the support, the camaraderie, the freedom to go out there and pursue things the way you want to, I think that is unmatched. I think no other organization gives you that flexibility and freedom, and that truly, to me, is empowerment of your leaders. So absolutely.
We'll get the views from Ramesh, because he is one person whom we know the competition has been behind him, and in spite he chose to continue his journey with Paramount. So
this is my 10th year in Paramount. So I joined in 2015 to restart the Paramount business operations for Saudi Arabia. And now for last 1 year, last 1.5 years, I'm heading the cybersecurity consulting services across GCC region. Earlier I was looking after only the Saudi, but now entire GCC region, I'm taking care of consulting services. The things I like in Paramount is the openness and the culture, and anyone can walk into CEO's room and he respects each and everyone's opinion. Right? So though there is a hierarchy to administer the things and all, but anyone can approach anyone. That really, I like that approach.
So Ramesh and I go back a while before he came on board. The first time we interacted is when we got him on a project, and since then we've partnered, we've competed, and today we work together, all in the span of last 20 years.
That's very much like how the Paramountiers or the ex-Paramountiers associate with us. They join us as youngsters. They grow up within the system. Sometimes they decide to move with a distributor or a vendor or a customer. The form or the kind of association is very different, but then it's pretty intense, and that's something to be cherished about. So moving back to the cultural aspects, Ramesh, what are those values that you try to exhibit in your style of leadership, because today you have a big team, and which are those values which are pretty much very close to your heart that you try to reflect on?
Right now we are 52 people in consulting services across the entire GCC region. The openness and the respect, respecting each other. Everyone has a different style of leadership, right? Some are very tough in talking or articulating, etc. But I think I fall in a soft-spoken guy, and that is my leadership style. But at the end, getting things done and achieving numbers is our objective and goal. So the entire team is geared up. Everyone understands. The team also has, they know their roles and responsibilities very clearly. And there is no micromanagement, in the Paramount, at the organization level also, which I really like that. So everyone knows what is their roles and responsibilities, what they needs to be, needs to achieve and done. So it's very clear, yeah.
So Namit, what is it that you feel good about Paramount? Why did you come back?
See, from a customer perspective, and I think from a people perspective, both inside out, outside in, I think there are three things that differentiate us. One is there is a lot of hunger to succeed. Right? As a company, in our teams across regions, everybody is very attracted towards success, because it's not only success for them, it's success for the company as a whole. Second, I think we are also very humble. Humility defines us. So sometimes that works against us. We don't talk about our successes as much as we need to. And I think this might seem a little cheesy, but I think we demonstrate a lot of humanity, right? When our team members go through challenges, when our employees, even our ex-employees go through challenges, we are there to support them in different forms and shapes. And I think that defines a long-term relationship with any person, whether they are inside the company or outside. And that's what prompts people to come back, right? They seek for that kind of an ecosystem, and that's why I think I'm back here. And a lot of other people have also come back.
Yeah, and even when they leave, they stay connected, right? And that's why we are so proud of the Paramount alumnus or alumni. Yeah.
What does success mean to you?
My success means the success of my team, right? And going back to the question earlier on leadership, right? What style of leadership do we have? I think we have the best form of leadership in Paramount, which is staying out of your team's way so that you don't have to lead. And I think that is what has served our success in a certain sense, that we have not been told what to do. We've all seen the problem, we've all figured out a solution together, and then just attack the problem jointly. So that I think the part about stepping out of your way is the best thing that my leaders have done for me. And I think that's what I'm doing for my team as well.
Just a couple of points to add here. I think as a company, we have that learner's mindset. We really want to, foresee what is coming in the market and being ready for that. Additionally, we want to simplify, the complex problems, the complex solutions in a very, simple way to understand. That's really something which stands us apart. And also, we believe that, once the intent is right and you have identified the right person, just support that person in the best way possible. I am one of the examples. 2020 end, I go to Prem that, we should do data privacy. And he's like, okay, but, we're a cybersecurity company. Do you think it is the right extension to what we are doing? Who will do it? And, there were multiple questions. But I think he saw that intent is right. We want to simplify this complex privacy regulation coming in for various clients of ours. And he just gives a way ahead. And today, we see that resulting into something great for us. So those are a couple of important points that I have foreseen really working for us.
Yeah, and one more point also, which I have noticed, that we always want to be ahead of other competitors. We want to be one step let's say ahead, so that we are there first, we capture the maximum opportunities, and we be known in the market for being leaders.
Namit was talking about the leadership standing out of the way for other people for the employees to do their own initiatives and succeed. I think that's a good point. But apart from that point, I'm saying the ability to say no to somebody who is in hierarchy a little above you, and to say it without hesitation, right?
Do you do that really? Really?
Really, yeah. I'm seriously telling you. I mean, I've said no to Ashok many times, no to Prem many times. You can get hurt if you say no bluntly other places.
No, they will not hurt you, but they will not do it. That's
I don't know if I've been given the sparing rod, but at least I have not felt that if I say no to Ashok or Prem, something is going to affect me. It's not.
The space to really stay authentic, the way you think is important, is very much in the system. Divya, what is your take on this?
I mean, I was listening to everybody and I thought, what shapes a culture of the organization? Culture is very top-driven sometimes, I feel, than bottom-driven. And I think I have to give it to our CEO. That learner's mindset that Nitin spoke about, always on the quest to be ahead, know what's going to come. And at the same time, maintaining that humility, the relationship, valuing people for who they are. I think, at least for me, I mean, I can talk for myself. That is something that really stood out for me the moment I joined, because my maximum interaction was with him initially. And it blew my mind, because 16 years in the industry, having spoken to so many leaders, I hadn't seen somebody so genuine and so humane at so many levels. So I think what he has set rolling, people have adopted and taken it forward. And that has been absolutely amazing, I think, for Paramount. And I think everybody will continue that legacy of what he kickstarted.
I think in a way that has put the benchmark so high that we as leaders ought to reflect the same.
I don't know if it's the fact that we all inherently see things that way, whether it is being humble, whether when we look at customer, I always think about the fact that the extent to which we go to support our customers. And Mukund, you remember when we were doing our branding exercise, you went about asking customers, why is it that you want to do business with us? And if there was one word which stood out, and sometimes I say we do a little bit more than we should, is flexibility.
Yeah.
Right? That's one thing that, and sometimes I feel, while it's one thing to start, which in itself is not easy, to carry is equally difficult. And unless we can see things in the same way, it's not that difficult, not that easy. Yes, sir. What has been your experience with customers for us in Kuwait?
Yeah. So I used to be a customer for 14 months. So I was
Paramount's customer?
No. I was a customer. So what I was looking for from Paramount or from any other company which is coming to deal with me as a customer. So this is what we are asking ourselves when we are going to the customer. It's very simple. He needs a support, but in all levels. He needs to protect his job, his place. This is the IT manager. He doesn't need to go anywhere else. The CISO also need to protect himself or need to go more higher. So once you have the right team, the right people, the customer will be more than happy to repeatedly giving you the business. We have some customer in Kuwait who are working with them more than 12 years now. And the customer is coming every year bigger and bigger. Why? There is no companies in Kuwait which can provide the license or yes, there is, but the service, the type of services we are offering, type of people we are choosing. And this question actually I was asking myself. Here is the management team of Paramount, one or two missing for a business trip. Do we choose this team? How we choose it? We are very lucky that Nitin, Ramesh, Divya, Hala, Ashok team. This team you cannot find it any place. I have more than 13 years in the area. I work for a big companies, vendors, and I never see a full team which having this reputation. Really, it's amazing. So if I'm a customer, I will repeatedly go to work with Paramount.
Interesting.
It's very easy. Yeah.
Ashok is very happy.
Yeah, a little emotional, but that's okay.
I mean, I think we are all committed to deliver, the customer expectation. I mean, not deliver. I mean, we exceed most of the times. We are committed for the customer satisfaction. So that's why
the collaboration all over the team. It's
I don't face customers directly, but I have a very interesting incident that happened. When I joined, right, I think it was 3 months or 6 months after I joined, I went to the JISEC exhibition. I think one of the sellers introduced me to a customer, saying that this Mukund and he's joined marketing team and he's going to be heading marketing. So the customer shook my hand and he said, this was the only place you guys were lacking and I'm good to see you here. So, I mean, the customer doesn't need to do anything more than shaking the hand of an unknown marketing person. But here he says, you need better marketing or you need good marketing, shows that he is actually become an advocate of Paramount. And that's unsought after advocacy, right? Because typically large companies give a cash discount or take that guy out for golfing and dinner to give him a testimony. And here he is saying, hey, you need somebody good in marketing now. That's all you guys need. You're so phenomenal. So that I think was something that said, wow, I mean, this can't be anything better, right, than a customer rooting that this company improves its marketing. That was phenomenal, actually.
I think we should go back to the same customer and ask if Mukund has done a good job with our marketing or not.
That's a very powerful statement, by the way, while we all laughed at it. As a company, as an organization, we've been very clear with our integrity and our standards. Not even once there had been an instance that we have accepted anything from any stakeholder under the table. And if a customer has to make that statement, which almost indicates that everything is fine except marketing, it only means that we're not telling the world the awesomeness of this organization enough. And I think that's exactly the reason why we should meet more frequently and talk about the lovely things that's happening around. Isn't it?
Divya, just a question for you. What are those 2-3 skills or characteristics you look in a person who is supposed to join Paramount as a manager or a leader?
Interesting question. Very challenging response. The efforts are extremely challenging. Everything around has changed so much, Nitin. Now, with all the geopolitical situation being drastically changed, with everything being the new normal, so many things have changed. You're looking at balancing with your hybrid workforce, you have your remote workforce, and there is so much of uncertainty all over the world. We're just trying to see what would really make sense. The honest fact is, while we have strengthened the process, even today I continue to make mistakes because there is a limit to which you can gauge in limited conversations. You use tools. In spite, we've landed up with hires who may not have been the best for Paramount. So we look for people from a cultural aspects. We have processes to really determine who can come closest. But I think we still have to look into deeper measures to see what would make sense. We look into people who are respectful, who are clear with an intent, and somebody with a very possibility mindset, somebody who wants to try out something new, different, who's really aiming for the sky. But that's not always very easy. Sometimes you just get bogged down with a lot of constraints and uncertainties around. So
I think we have a hunch about people, right? we see that there is a potential to perform. And I think we go on that hunch of that potential more than anything else, and that has, I think, given us more results than any scientific interview that you can do. There are a lot of the leadership today sitting here have come from various roles like that, right? So, and that has contributed to the different mindsets that we have in Paramount. And so I think, yeah, the potential to perform, I think, for us in our heads is very important.
Probably that could be the reason we are different, yet unique. It's an oxymoron, but still there is a lot of uniqueness in the kind of leaders who are with Paramount, though the strengths are very different. Somebody who has come from very different cultural background probably could chip in here and tell us the uniqueness. Maybe Ramesh, you're somebody who've been in Middle East for a long time, somebody who have been tailoring a lot of solutions from a compliance angle to our customers.
In Middle East, this is my fourth company. Okay, so compared to the previous three organizations, here the flexibility is more. You can express your ideas. As Nitin mentioned, like you have some idea, you want to convert into a business. There is a lot of support from the senior management. The people respect your ideas, and which eventually you can make your idea grow into a powerful business like what today we see from Nitin as a data privacy business, right? So that is very unique quality here in Paramount senior management.
Somebody who has tried out a competition which was IdeaGen, and then a winner there has actually been able to bring out a business unit as such as Nitin. So probably you should talk a little bit on those aspects, Nitin.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to your earlier question as well, I was working for an MNC before my MBA days, and I could clearly see that, managers and leaders, there's a vast difference, right? When you talk to a manager, you feel that why they are important. But when you talk to a leader, they make you feel why you are important. And that is very, very clear in our leadership across the company. So that's really something that sets Paramount apart completely. In terms of, yes, on the ideas, right? So when the intent is there, like I said, I always believe in that. And we are, as a company, always looking for customer insight and marrying it with industry foresight. And that's what, it's been our mantra for a very long time. So we were able to figure out, after having discussions with our various enterprise organizations, this is coming, this wave is coming. And when you talk to your, vendors across the region, you talk to your analysts, Gartner, that relationship really, helped us in that initial journey. So we were able to identify the plan for our next, business unit and launch it, experiment, go knock the doors, speak to our key customers, understand from their response, keep working, to revamp the way we position our services. And that has really been great. You hire 2 people, 3 people. When I look back at data privacy, today we have 45 plus employees serving 42 clients. I would never have hoped that in 2025 we'll be here. Maybe it's been my plan to reach here by 27 or 28, but again, that's just the beginning, is what we feel. It can scale even further. And also, envisioning how will this eventually look like 3 to 5 years from now. It will not stay as a data privacy team only. We will venture into data and AI, and that is what everybody is talking about. So that's why, it's very exciting. You can try so many things. Of course, at times you will fail as well, but that support is there, which really matters.
One of the things that keeps us going is learning, keeping the complete workforce actually on toes and with respect to what's happening in the industry, the best, the top notch. What are the initiatives we are doing in terms of Tech Thursdays and DLR and everything around it in terms of public speaking? We have the Paramount Toastmasters Club now. Do you think, are we on the right path? Should we do more? Should we do less? Or should we just get more people to do whatever initiatives we have chosen?
Adding to that, actually, what I have seen the unique quality in this company is our CEO. CEO is much ahead of what is happening latest in the industry, right? So he keeps sending WhatsApp messages, one-to-one personal email. So obviously, if a CEO level kind of person is so savvy in terms of the knowledge, what is happening, he keeps himself updating, then that drives down to the every BU head also, right? So we also need to be on our toes, what is happening in the cybersecurity industry, our latest happenings, whether it is AI, data privacy, data governance, whatever it is, right? So this is I have seen in other companies, the senior management is more of a number oriented, like typically a CEO model. But here, which is very unique, where in Paramount, CEO is more of a knowledge driven. And one more thing is like in this company, when any of the sales guy or a solution architect visits a customer, instead of selling a point-based solution, he understands the customer problem completely, and we try to provide a comprehensive solution. I mean, packaging products, services, end to end. So, which eventually helps customer also building trust on the Paramount. That's why I think we have lasted in this market for so many years, and we have customers for so many years. Yeah.
Bundling the products and solutions in a way that makes sense to the customers, right?
Yeah. So I think the way you could probably describe this as a tiger syndrome, right? Now, what is the tiger syndrome? If you sit and ride a tiger, right? You can't get off the tiger because the tiger then will eat you up, right? So if you were to look at Paramount, I think we've been sitting on a tiger. We got new technologies into Middle East, which was not even kind of used in Middle East. At least about 8 of them are new technologies that Paramount has introduced. So we've been sitting on that tiger of new technology, getting new things innovative to the market, right? Now Middle East is the flavor of the world, right? But we've been giving those little ice cream treat sticks to Middle East, getting new technologies, and that's kind of set the direction to us. So we're saying, hey, Paramount has always been the North Star for cybersecurity in the Middle East. So what are the new things that we are introducing? What are we talking new? So now with the advent of AI, we have so many things within us, right? We have agentic AI, we have AI governance, we have an AI framework. So I think the tiger syndrome is a fantastic approach that we are having, and that's heading us forward, because we know if we fall off the tiger will eat us up. I think that's a great direction for us to kind of move ahead.
That's a great perspective. I think we've got around 5 consultants who are certified in AIMS. We have around 11 lined up for the next session in the next 2 weeks. Nitin, why don't you tell us a little bit about the kind of emerging solutions that you are bundling with the spaces that you're leading today?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the vision for our business unit is to be into data and AI together, not just data privacy. Now, this space again is massive. There are hundreds of technologies, various partners doing consultancy. So our approach is going to be end-to-end. We will not be just focusing on one stack of doing consulting only or technology deployments only. It will be end-to-end journey, just like data privacy. We want to make sure that clients who are using AI systems in the organizations today understand the risk they're sitting on. Because it's very easy for a business function in a company to say that I'm implementing AI to transform my CRM, to transform my HRMS, but they don't understand what data is getting into that AI model, and it's getting trained on your actual sensitive data. So as an organization, it's onus on us to go and identify those risks and propose the entire approach. So we are, collating together data privacy, data governance, and AI governance as part of the offering of data and AI, and go with the entire package and start small, start offering value to the clients, go use case by use case. It's not going to be a big bang AI framework which will be implemented across all the organization. It's going to be use case approach. And that's what we are seeing from our larger clients who already are on this journey. When we talk to them, we identify that they are having a company doing transformation of AI, but nobody knows what data is getting fed. So when we say the challenge is this, obviously the eyeballs are rolling, and then we chip in and then try to identify the risks. That's the approach.
Yeah, and you're doing some stuff on AI from your side, Hala, with Microsoft.
We are, but actually before that, I just wanted to reply on her question on the learning and development, because what I believe the team is doing is amazing. It's just we need to push the team to attend more, because to know about everything that the company is actually doing services for is something that I believe essential for every seller, for every technical person, every pre-sales. So that is something, and I have seen since 3 years ago, since I joined, this is consistently happening, did not stop even for one Thursday. Whether it is year end, quarter end, we feel like there is a consistency on this, and I believe this is something amazing to keep doing. Now on AI, yes, we are actually working, we know that AI is the story everyone is talking about. Microsoft specifically, they are investing billions of dollars on, infusing AI in all their products, in each and every component of their products. So we are working with the team, our team is working with the Microsoft experts, the AI experts, on how we can tailor these services, take it to the customers and wow them. Not only to buy something, subscribe to a service, no, it should really show a value. They should really see something beneficial, something has reduced their headaches, issues, reduced the timeline of getting their reports done, their finding the root causes of their issues. So this is something that we are instantly working on, even expanding it to many other products of Microsoft.
Yeah, just adding to that, as we all know that, the data, now they call data is the blood of AI, right? So this data has the 3 dimensions, right? Data quality, data privacy, and data security. As an organization, we are offering consulting and product-based solutions for the data privacy and the data security, but we are not there in the data quality.
Yes, and one more thing, for any AI adoption, if you want to go and talk about AI adoption at any customer place, if you are not securing your data, then you are putting yourself at a big risk.
Correct, because AI security starts from the data gathering itself. So while gathering the data itself, you need to see what kind of security mechanisms should be embedded in that process. From there, yeah, I agree with you.
Namit, I wanted to ask you something, because this is a interesting departure from what we've hitherto done as a company, which is asking you to move from Doha to build our latest brand, Ahlan Cyber. And what has been your whole experience about moving to Saudi Arabia, building this brand? It's still a work in progress, but that's it, the last couple of years. How's that been for you?
Moving per se was not new to me, because I had moved from UAE to Qatar when I came back. But then this role meant something that was much more bigger than what I was doing, not only for myself, but also for the company. I saw the vision, I saw the potential in the market. Saudi Arabia is going through an amazing transformation, and I keep telling everybody in the team that fortunately we are in the right place at the right time, right? We better make use of this. So the opportunity is what excited me, and the only disadvantage I see is that we have a new name there, right? The Paramount legacy is something that we do not leverage there, but that's for the right reasons as well, because we wanted to create a different brand that is a leaner version of Paramount, focused on certain service lines. So it is important for us to differentiate and go through that pain. But that is what has been very exciting. There's a lot of work done by Ramesh especially, and Nitin and Hala over the last several years. There are customers who will come and hug you if you tell them that you are their colleagues. But now we are taking the baton forward with Ahlan Cyber as a brand. Our team has done a wonderful job on the ground, reaching out to customers, onboarding them for a lot of projects. So it's an exciting time, and I think as a company, we've done the right thing. For me personally, it's been the right thing, and I think all the people who are based in Saudi today, working really hard in taking the message forward, it's also great for all of them.
I'd like to add another point, right, of how we're taking the legacy forward. If you were to look at the team composition of Namit, it's a bunch of mix of experience and freshers. So I think that whole Paramount courage of investing on human capital, right? Like saying, hey, you have been doing administrative tasks, you've been doing coordination. I think I see a spark in you for maybe business development, maybe doing something in terms of compliance audit. That spirit, I think in Saudi Arabia also, I think Namit has been doing that. So you probably will see a lot of young cybersecurity professionals who have grown up with the brand. And I think that's something that is remarkable, right? Because in IT you have lift and shift, right? And that's very easy to do. You get somebody else, you pay them a higher industry fee, and then you ask them to do whatever it is. They come with their own baggage. But making somebody grow along with the organization, I think is actually a sense of pride, and it needs a confidence to do that. This person I can mold, and that confidence is paramount actually, in a way, and that's getting carried on in Ahlan Cyber.
I think one good bit is when someone comes up with an idea, I think we have the whole team backing it up with a lot of energy. I was just recollecting an instance where in Qatar we had challenges with talent attraction. There was a specific time wherein we were really struggling to mobilize talent there. And Namit came out with something very innovative where we packaged something wherein we were encouraging a lot of women who had taken a break, extremely competent ones, to really restart their career, which was a huge success. And today we continue to lead that program. I think when I joined, we were around 9% women. Today, consciously, the women power is 30%, which we can be proud about, and with a target of 35, by end of 2025. So that's great. Ashok, we have around 10% reserved for people who are just out of universities. We have programs like Paramount Campus to Corporate programs. We have numbers for D&I, which we rigorously chase. We have people of determination. So what is your take on this? How do you see it growing while we are growing?
I think for us, we've always looked at people of diverse cultures, nationalities, being part of the company. I think that's always been the case. Whether it becomes a fad or goes off has no meaning for us. What we have felt is, and it's not just about having women as a percentage, and that's something that, sitting in a position where I can influence decisions, I'm very conscious that we must have women in positions of decision making. That's where we will see difference happening. And I can say for a fact, we have 3 women sitting today around, and they are all able to take decisions. And I can say for sure, your teams are teams which have benefited by the fact that we have you as leading. So for us, that is a given. And I'm 100% sure as we grow, we will continue to bring in people irrespective of what the nationality to be part of the company. In fact, we've had, you remember we were doing this whole looking at how people with determination can be brought in and in positions where they can, because we've realized that they have capabilities which are so unique that they can be very easily brought in to deliver value to them, value to us, and most importantly, value to the customer. So that's an exercise that we will continue to do. The fact that we are doing something which has relevance beyond the business that we do.
Also, I believe as an organization, we are able to attract the right talent. When we get profiles from the HR for a job opening, there are profiles coming from Europe, Africa, which was not the case earlier, right? So we are definitely a bigger brand now, where people, want to be a part of.
We spoke about making a difference to the customers. Yes. We heard the perspectives. We heard about the employees' perspective on what really values, what are the cultural aspects. We spoke about the ecosystem, the stakeholders, and one of the integral part of stakeholder would be the vendor community that you are driving so actively in a region like Kuwait. Why don't you tell us a bit about the success story?
I was a customer sometimes, as I said, and I was a vendor also, and sometimes I have the experience. So in this part of the world, especially the Arabic world, they always like to talk to the owner of the product, which is the vendor. I'm sure that we have more experience than this vendor who will talk to, but the customer he likes to talk to the source. As he is saying, this is the source. So here's come our interaction. We need to manage this vendor very well. So as part of the Arabic world, also the relationship is managing this. So be in a strong relationship with the vendor. You will control both the vendor and the customer, so you reach to the point you like. So I like to have a very good relation with the vendor. Actually innovating this relation all the time with them. They like that, but also they will not support the relation if they didn't see a value from you. So show them a value, they will give you whatever you need. So this is actually how we can manage the vendor for us. Actually, I have some vendors now which they are giving business to us because they see a value. Yani we support them in some areas and we can get business in the other areas.
You know, vendors need strong partners as much as a partner would need a strong vendor.
Yes.
So that's the equation.
Yeah.
I think Nitin's BU is the best example.
Yeah,
vendor supports.
Yeah, it's been a great journey, especially in data privacy. We have one of the leading platforms as a partner. We just became partner of the year across APAC and EMEA for this particular vendor, security.ai. So yeah, you know, it's about showing the commitment, you know, running together, making sure things will work, and getting the commitment from both the sides. Ultimately, objective, you know, will be met. It can be a longer journey. For me, it has been a long journey, but you can reap the benefits when the time is right.
At the end, it's a win-win situation for both of us. But actually, not everyone understands this situation. So you will meet some vendors which they always need to be a win situation, only a win situation, regardless it is you or not. So this is, you need to control it and manage it in a proper way. So the one who is thinking about the win-win situation we are in, we are supporting, we are giving them the value. And we are very hard when it's come to the other side. So because we at Paramount, we have the know-how, we have the knowledge, we have the people actually who can support this. So in this case, you have the upper hand. As a system integrator, we have the upper hand. Yeah.
I wanted to chip in something here because I've been silent for a while and I want to speak, okay? So just like Nitin said, you know, in certain areas, and especially with regards to OT, it's a very niche area because here we are not protecting data, we are protecting systems, okay? So the kind of protocols that we deal with are very, very specific to those systems. So these vendors who are now in this space are always on a lookout for partners who have engineers residing within them because they are the only ones who will probably understand how to install those technologies on those systems. So we are blessed. We are not blessed. Let me just put it this way, that we took the right step of bringing this out as a specific business unit because this tells the vendors out there that these guys are very serious about this space. And they want somebody like that. Because at the end of the day, buying a box and selling is not the intent. They want people who will be able to support them in implementing that box. Because they don't want to carry their own resources, right? We are locally present, we know the client, we know the place. So we have also reaped advantage with certain vendors because we have engineers who can do that for them.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I work with one vendor only. But I think the relationship...
Which was that vendor?
The biggest vendor, let's say. And it's very hard to maintain a relationship with a vendor who has, it's not only multiple countries, it's actually many people in the system whom the moment you feel, okay, I know these many people, not enough. You still need to go.
You find a new one coming, yes.
Yeah, and you keep knowing, oh, this guy is doing this, really? Okay, so it's just continuous. So like Divya said, they sell their products. They don't really need your help to sell. But where they need help from you is really to implement it in a way that the customers see value out of this product. Not only they buy it and keep it. So if they do not implement and start seeing the value, they can cancel. It's just easy to go and reduce or remove the license later. So this is where they feel that we are unique in a way that we are nichely focused on specific area where nobody else has this capability at the moment.
Mukund, what has been your experience dealing with vendors for us?
See, I mean, like usually I approach vendors for two reasons. One is, hey, can we do joint marketing? And the second reason is, can you come and participate in something that we are doing? I have never said, I mean, like directly or indirectly, I've never got feedback saying that we don't want to do it with you, right? They've been very happy to do it with us. So in that way, there is a recognition that if somebody can reach out to the customers, yes, it is us. But for some reason, sometimes they don't have the budget, or sometimes that, you know, they need a longer planning cycle is when things don't move. But otherwise, our ability to connect with the end customers, places we can reach where they can't reach, is I think a big strength. For example, if you look at one of the vendors who is in Belgium, right? He has a unique product. It's a great product, right? It analyzes a lot of identity. It does identity analytics. He knows that the vendor knows that Middle East is a great place for his product, but he doesn't have the reach. So because of our ability to, you know, look at what is relevant across the world and trying to bring it to Middle East, like the tiger syndrome that I told about, they see great value in us, and they reach out to us specifically saying, hey, you know, we have a problem, can you reach it? OT, there is a fantastic technology. Somebody sitting in Australia, he looks at Divya, he looks at me. We did a webinar for that company in Australia and Singapore, which would not have been able to reach out, right? So in a way, we are a, you know, transmitting neuron, right, of a technology from so far below, right, Australia or Singapore, and transmitting that signal to customers who are sitting in Middle East. Some, you know, dairy processing unit or an oil and gas company, they get to hear about this company, which they need because of us. I think that's the phenomenal outreach that vendors get from us, right? Yeah, I'm just joking about the marketing budget part, but then this is what we stand for. And we are that neuron that transmits the technology from one place to another.
If you have to listen to nice analogies, you have to ask him many questions.
It's just that we have to hold him then, you know. He can go on and on.
We shouldn't let him off the tiger. No, I can see a very interesting pattern in what we are all talking about, right? And I think I mentioned this a couple of years back. I said that we are in the business of stakeholder management. If you see, we spoke about vendors, we spoke about employees, we spoke about customers. And I think the DNA of the company says that we want every interaction with any of the stakeholders we have to be positive and something that results in happiness and satisfaction on both sides, which is win-win, right? And I think that is the fundamental premise which has, you know, built trust with our customers, with our employees, with our vendors. Because, for example, vendors see us as a partner that can recommend the right approach to a customer. Customers understand that we are not driven by our own agendas. We are looking at what is best for the customer. Employees see that we are in it with them for their own growth as well as the company's growth. So I think we are managing that ecosystem of stakeholders very well. And that continues to contribute to our phenomenal growth.
Very nice perspective. I think as much as our team takes a lot of pride in understanding that we pioneer the information security space, I think we can be proud about so many aspects, like we pioneered happiness as a concept where many others were actually not speaking about. We have pioneered in the learning space. We have created a very fertile ground for our people to learn and get better. We can again brag proudly about the fact that the alumnus come back and they choose us as their preferred employer. Similarly, the same rule applies for community as well. So we say that make every difference in the lives of people, especially the less privileged, by measured contribution of time and money. by weaving social responsibility into the very fabric of our organization.
I have a question for Ashok. You've been part of the Paramount system and the cybersecurity industry, and you've seen different countries and the way people operate. And today you are in a position where you are bound to manage a lot of people sitting here, right? While, like Divya mentioned earlier, we are very same, but yet we are unique. How do you go about managing that, and how has the Paramount experience helped you manage all of us?
That's a tough one to answer. when I have to answer to people who I'm supposedly managing, But I think that's the answer, that supposedly managing is the way. What you talked about earlier, right? We know how to stay out of the way. The only difference with me is I have the habit of not being completely out of the way. But then, yeah, I think for the company's good and for the individual's good and my own understanding of my limitations, I try to let people run their own businesses. It absolutely doesn't mean that I stay out, but I give my input where needed, but let the person run with that proposition that they have. And I think that if you look at our businesses, that's the uniqueness of our businesses, because you have each P&L owner as different as you can get, So if I look at him, you, Nitin, Ramesh, Divya and Hala, you can't have not just the fact that we are different people, the way you go about is different. At the same time, is pressure there in quarter end? Of course there is pressure. Are numbers important? Absolutely. Otherwise we won't have a job, right? If we forget that numbers are critical. But my job today demands I make those difficult calls. And I don't shrug from the fact that I have to make those difficult calls. That's part of why the company has employed me. So I have to make those difficult, but I should be clear in my conscience that I'm taking the difficult call. I have given that employee, that vendor, enough time, opportunity, and I'm clear in what I'm doing.
Most importantly, staying very truthful and honest in that transaction and what makes sense for both.
So Ashok, look, you've been here for the last 20 odd years, right? The company has grown, right? We've grown more than the industry average. So when you said you make decisions, right? Have you been conscious, have you calibrated your decision making depending on the largeness, right? Maybe you had 100 employees, the way you made your decisions then versus the way you're making decisions now, which is we are standing at 550 plus. What kind of calibrations have you made in your decision making? Has it been conscious, or have you at some point in time said, hey, you know what, I actually did this subconsciously?
That's a
Just
question.
walk us through that.
That's a question for Ashok, but I'm so tempted to answer that because it's been so conscious that he has even come out with a department which is Business Excellence and FP&A, looking at each line item to an extent that we have complete visibility. Ashok, over to you.
Yeah. So it's a combination, honestly. There's a whole lot of stuff which just happened, okay? But there's a whole lot of stuff that, like Divya said, we've had to bring in place because of the size. What has not changed is our decision-making process basis. How we hire people, that has not changed. But yeah, we had to bring in process. We are 500 people company now. We cannot be ad hoc in everything that we do. So the processes that she's brought in, the technology stack that they have today as part of HR is amazing. There is so much tech in it. But what has not changed, like I said, is how we go about hiring. And what helps is, and then it was not conscious, it just happened to be that way, is that we have 11 P&L owners, each running a subset of our business, means it is not actually 500 plus. That 500 plus has broken down into smaller chunks, then it becomes easier. Then you're not constrained by the fact that you are a big elephant, difficult to move. At the same time, certain basic stuff, you have to look at that 500 and then take a call. So it's both. Yeah, you have to balance off the fact that some are 500 plus, some are very operational. He wants to hire a guy for AI governance now. He knows what he needs to do, and that's. I mean, again, did we plan it that way? No. We got people like you folks here who understood the way we think. So when you take decisions to hire, you know, what is this guy going to ask? 50 things, he's going to ask the same thing, he's going to ask those 4 stuff. Have I done those 4 things before I can hire a guy? So then it becomes easy from a hiring standpoint.
What are the words that resonates very close to your heart when you hear the word Paramount?
Kya baat.
That's with the people who have heart,
Yeah,
right? So what would you say?
So one word, yes, Hala.
One word?
Yeah.
Paramount, innovation.
Innovation, okay.
Mukund.
Yeah, I think it's about relationships.
For me, I would say vision plus execution.
Family, Paramount. It's family.
Value.
Trust.
Care, uniqueness, and excellence.
Freedom to be.
I think we've covered all adjectives now.
Ashok,
Humility.
what would Prem say if we had to ask this question to Prem? What do you think he would have said? I think he would say compassion, isn't it? Because that's what he teaches us all the time. Clear, compassion. Or he might say learn. He might just say learn.
Think, you fools, think.
Think.
All in
act,
caps, huh?
Contribute. All in caps. That's exactly he would say. Think, act, contribute. Good. Guys, you are so awesome. The reason you all came jumping before even understanding why you were called here, bro. I love you all. Seriously.
So we deserve one.
We came because we did not know what was happening.
That's exactly why I didn't tell you.